I said goodbye to the desert and my trusty guide, Mohammed, and my fellow travelers. And Mohammed helped me go to the bus station and get my bags ready to go on the bus. And then I waited there for at least 2 hours. I became anxious at one moment, not sure, didn't want to miss the bus. And as you're familiar, when you're at a bus station or a train station, the announcements are rather garbled, and mine sounded just like this. As Mohammed would say, blah, blah, blah. And I was on the same size bus that we've been traveling with. It was a huge bus, only this time it was chock full of Moroccans. I had the front seat, and it was a 4-hour bus ride. And after 3 hours, they stopped for the happy room. I was greatly relieved, and I zipped there and zipped back. I didn't want to get left behind by the bus. And when I arrived in Meknes, there was my friend Khadija ready to pick me up and take me to my new apartment. There was a nice little coffee bar there, and a little grocery store also, and then about 10-minute walk was a big grocery store. And I loved the way they decorated this with the bicycles. I thought this was pretty neat. My room was on the 5th floor, and it was quite beautiful. There were 3 bedrooms, of which I only needed 1, and a gorgeous view out the window of an olive orchard and the European cemetery. Not quite so exciting. That's what all those white things are. Khadija's brother, Mohammed, who lives in Virginia but was visiting, he has a farm in Meknes, and he offered to take me and show me his Meknes. And so we had a great trip walking around. We met some children that wanted to practice their English, so of course that was quite fun. And we went to a beautiful museum, music museum, and it was in an old riad that they had repaired and renewed, and it was absolutely gorgeous. And the instruments were fascinating, and then they had recorded music also that you could hear. So Monday came, and finally I got to go see my beloved babies. What a shock. I was not prepared for this. There were 30 little cribs in this one room, the size of a normal bedroom. 30 babies, and really only 1 or 2 caregivers. And one of the first infants I saw is this little guy who has hydrocephalus. He's 7 months old and is probably also has cerebral palsy. You can see how attentive he was to the mobile, though. That was so gratifying to see your mobiles up there. The older infants and younger toddlers spent quite a bit of time in this penned-in area, and so I was able to get busy boxes and put them along the side, and also a mirror so that they'd be encouraged to stand up and use their fine motor muscles. This little guy just engaged me every day. He would stand up and we'd go weave back and forth, and I would imitate him, and then I'd say, stop. And then he'd look at me and laugh, this belly laugh, and then do it again, over and over again. And he remembered that every day. This little guy has a tumor, but he also has a lot of other developmental issues, and I convinced them to put him in a bigger crib so he could start turning over and pull. So it was a simple solution that really helped him. And this little girl was so sweet. Their faces are just so darling. This one has kind of given up, unfortunately, but we'll work with her. And this guy, all the lights were on. The bright light in all of this were Sarifa on the left, who did worked with the infants educationally, and Kendra, who worked with the special needs children. They were so eager to learn and to try anything that I suggested. I ended up writing things at home and then translating them into Arabic so that they could understand better. This is the preschool room where the kids slept. And this is back in the toddler area where I got them to start doing big motor things. I opened this playhouse to find 100 pairs of little shoes, and so I asked in my broken French, what are these shoes doing here? And the next thing I knew, they had taken them all out, and the playhouse was now open for business. This is Sharifa's playroom. As you can tell, she's got more than enough toys, so next time I go there, this is an area I'm going to work on so that she has a little more intentional for the different age groups that she's working with. Oh, the joy of changing and diapering and feeding. They took all 20 babies and put them on a bench, and they all were screaming at one time. It was really difficult to listen to. I know. On a humorous note, the last day I bought some busy boxes to put along the gate here, and I started listening to it, and it showed a picture of a sheep, and it goes, "The shit says ba, the shit says ba." And I thought, oh my goodness, all these babies are going to learn this as their English words. On Fridays, the Moroccan people always celebrate with couscous. They make their own couscous, and this has lamb in it and vegetables. And we ate around this dish, four of us, with spoons, sharing the plate. So, with great sadness, I said goodbye to Khadija and to my new friends, Kendra and Sharifa. And as the full moon came up at midnight, I got in a cab and took off to Casablanca and my long trip home.